Welcome to another episode of Preparing for the Unexpected. I'm your host, Alex Floyd. Today, I wanted to talk about something that seems to be happening quite a bit recently, and I just came across it in an article in Canada on the CBC website, and it has to do with ageism and the job openings that are going unfilled right now. There seems to be a big issue with ageism because a lot of the older people, especially about 50, 55 and up, are having a really tough time finding jobs because some of them were let go as a result of COVID, contracts ended, or companies went bankrupt, whatever the case may be. There's a lot of these people out there that have all this experience, but organizations are not looking at them because of their age. Now, many organizations will say that's not the case. However, it's been happening a lot, and you're looking at someone who's experiencing it right now. I have over 24 years in business continuity management / resiliency, whatever moniker you want to put on that. And as soon as people have, and I was told about this by somebody, as soon as someone looked at my resume and said, oh, that person's got too much experience, they will cost too much and ask for too much money, so we'll get somebody else. When is experience too much? That makes no sense. We have all these roles that are open. Organizations are asking for experienced people, and yet they're not going to hire them. Part of this article also said it's because a lot of older people will turn around and ask the right questions. We have experience. We know what questions to ask. Benefits, compensation, organizational policies. We will ask these questions because we've been there. We've been around the block a few times. We know what questions to ask. And younger people without the experience won't cost as much because they don't have that experience behind them. And they don't know a lot of the questions to ask. And that's not their fault. I'm not pointing fingers or putting a blame on anybody. That just comes with experience, plain and simple. Then we've got governments who have programs in place to hire new students and people that are coming out of universities, getting them into the workforce. But there aren't programs to keep older individuals in the workforce, unless you count mom and pop shops, door greeters at Walmart, and some of these other jobs. And this article goes on to talk about some of these people who had major degrees, tons of experience, can't find a job because they're overlooked for the government program sponsoring the young. Now, this makes no sense. We've got all these job vacancies that are out there right now. Everyone is complaining about it. They can't find people to fill restaurants. There's even been a couple of cases where restaurants have had to close for a while because they don't have the staff to actually work in them. And yet, for some reason, we're not getting older people hired back into the workforce with all this experience that organizations are looking for. You can't have it both ways. You can't say that we have all these vacancies and the reason we do is because people are lazy or don't want to work. Well, lots of people do want to work. They want to get out there. They want to start making their way. They want to create value again. They want to be a part of something. And simply because they're older, they're not going to be looked at. And the same thing happens to those new in the workforce as well. You're too young, you don't have the experience, so we're not going to hire you. However, if I can get a government grant, sure, I'll hire you because the government will pay half your salary. Well, then there's no experience there. You can't have it both ways. Have a new person with lots of experience or an old person who's cheap and comes with experience, but you're not going to hire anyway, simply because they're older. This is happening a lot. And until organizations really start getting their head on straight and start looking at some of this stuff, you just went through a global pandemic. There are so many things to learn. So many things are going to have to change. The way you're doing business is changing. Who you're doing business with is going to change. Markets are changing. Everything is changing. You need experience. And to shut the door on people simply because they're older makes no sense. It's even gone to the point where some people now are, according to this article, are changing their resume. They're taking out older jobs. Let's say they worked in 1980 at an organization where they were a business analyst or something for a few years. They're taking that out because it shows their age. And yet that could be a skill that organizations are looking for. And now people are turning around and fudging their resumes or changing their resumes and just deleting something from their resumes that shows some of the experience that you might be looking for. These situations make no sense. Ageism is still discrimination simply because of your age or you have gray hair or whatever the case may be. That makes no sense. There's a lot of people out there looking to work, a lot of people that are going to add your organization value. So look at them. Don't turn away just because they are older. They can bring a lot more to the table. In the meantime, stay prepared, everybody. If you liked that video, thumbs up. If you didn't like that video, thumbs down. But leave a message and let me know what your thoughts are. If you'd like to be a guest on the show to talk about something related to business continuity, disaster management, COVID, personal well-being, anything that's relatable to those subjects, you can reach me through my LinkedIn profile, which is in the video description. And of course, don't forget to subscribe. In the meantime, stay prepared, everybody.